right now on SAU Weekly. Commencement changes.
It helps a lot to have them all back together.
What graduate and undergraduate candidates can expect ahead of winter commencement. Plus, serving their community.
The Gilda's Club was the first thing that came to mind.
How a Sports Management Capstone class came together to host another successful fundraiser. And in sports,
the Funny Oaks of Oakland City.
Another memorable trip to nationals for women's soccer. Plus,
this year's team really wants to get better on their own time.
A look at what's ahead for men's lacrosse. Your latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University starts right now.
Welcome to this edition of SAU Weekly, your source for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University. I'm Jacob Moisa.
And I'm Ross Willard.
With the end of the fall semester right around the corner, St. Ambrose will combine undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral ceremonies back into one for winter graduation. Amid the COVID-19 pandemic and the 2020 school year, the ceremonies were split to ensure smaller crowds and social distancing. Now all graduate candidates will take the stage to receive their degrees in one ceremony on December 14th at the Davenport River Center. The graduate hooding ceremony will now take place on Friday, December 13th inside the Albert Auditorium and Gavin Fine Arts Center.
So I think a lot of times when the undergraduates graduate, they think, okay, I'm finally done. I don't have to do it anymore. I can just go into work. No more school for me. But when we add the master and doctoral students, it's a very good reminder that your academic journey doesn't have to end, that you can continue to go back, whether that's at 25 years old or going to 65 years old.
As of right now, there are no plans to combine the spring commencement ceremonies into one, but Forel says expect a decision to be made in the next semester.
The Sports Management Capstone class hosted their annual sporting event fundraiser, and this year they picked volleyball, but with a big twist. SAU Weekly's Sydney Horseman has more.
We need Holman Court and the Esports Destroyers to play now.
Volleyball, a day of serving and spiking for a good cause.
We were looking at volleyball events. We saw that Western Illinois University actually did a big pink volleyball where they donated all their proceeds to breast cancer. So when we saw what they did, we kind of just looked at their rules, implemented them into our format, and eventually came to the conclusion we wanted to do big balls too. We figured more people would have fun, and that way it's not very lopsided. You could be co-ed teams and still have the same amount of fun.
This year's tournament challenged players to adapt to the large inflatable balls.
The first game was good. I mean, it was hard serving, but we got used to it. Had some crazy sets, but we still got the win. It's hard to spike. Like, you try to hit it straight and it just curves way out of the way. When we do our sets, they just spin around in the air, but it's hard.
Playing with a bigger ball was fun. It's definitely different since we play with smaller balls on the real team, but definitely we had to adapt for sure.
Organizers wanted the event to not only bring the campus together, but also make a difference in the community.
Especially when we looked at the big pink volleyball is what we're basing our event off of. It was for cancer charities. So when we started thinking about that and who we wanted to donate money to, the Gilda's Club was the first thing that came to mind. And we went and had some great conversations with them, and it's kind of how the whole thing came together.
All proceeds will be donated to the Gilda's Club, a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting cancer patients through support groups, healthy lifestyle workshops, educational lectures, and social connections. Serving on the court while serving the community. For SAU Weekly, I'm Sydney Horseman.
Thanks, Sydney. The SAU chapter of Gilda's Club is currently looking for students to join their club. To apply for a position, contact the program director, Kelsey Allen, at kelsey@gildasclubqc.org.
Coming up next on SAU Weekly, do you have what it takes to become a resident advisor? Applications are now open.
In this week's What's the Buzz, Cole Negen explains the process to become an RA with Residence Life Director Daneel Gayle. We'll be right back.
Tune in to KALA and hear something different. Programming that celebrates the diversity of our listeners. We're advocates for the arts, showcasing your favorite music from around the world. We're storytellers, producing award-winning news and educational podcasts. We're dedicated sports fans bringing you the latest Fighting Bee action from St. Ambrose University. We're a learning lab mentoring the next generation of broadcasters and content creators. A part of your community for 5 decades. We're KALA Radio, 88.5 FM and 106.1 FM. Turn it on and turn it up.
Visit Ragged Records, one of the largest record stores in the Midwest. Browse more than 30,000 new and used records, from timeless classics to new releases, and rare finds in every aisle. New to collecting vinyl? Check out our large selection of stereo equipment to spruce up your listening experience. Find your groove at Ragged Records, located along Motor Row in Davenport, and in Rock Island next to Roz Talks.
Applications are now open for those interested in joining Residence Life team here at SAU.
In this week's What's the Buzz, Cole Negen joins us to discuss the application process with Residence Life Director Daneel Gayle.
It's that time of year again as applications have opened for those looking to join the Residence Life team here at SAU for the 2025 school year. Joining me to talk a little bit more about becoming a resident advisor is the Director of Residence Life, Daneel Gayle. Daneel, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
For those who may not be aware of what the responsibilities of being an RA are, could you just describe what the job looks like, what those responsibilities all entail?
Yeah, so the responsibility of a resident advisor primarily is just to make sure that students are being safe while they're here on campus. And also community building in the hall. And so with that, community building can gear towards having programs, so that way the residents are able to attend the programs, be able to socialize with those on their floor, or also learn about resources that's available on campus or resources in the community. They'll create like door decorations for the halls, kind of like help decorate the halls. They'll also do like bulletin boards, and those bulletin boards can be geared towards resources on campus, or how to have better study skills, or how to take care of yourself while you're in the busy season of maybe midterms or finals. And then the safety is just to making sure that students are following our policy, and it's making sure that students are staying safe and not being too, rambunctious or anything. So yeah.
Yeah, perfect. As far as the application process goes, there's a lot of people on campus who don't really see themselves fitting in as an RA, or don't see themselves in that position. Yeah. What would you say to encourage people to apply for the position?
Yeah, so there's not just one perfect RA. We're not looking for this one RA or this one skills, because we need different skills. So the best way I always describe it is that we can't have, all RAs can be extrovert, because not everyone's extrovert. Some people are introverts. And so we need to have a balance of like extroverts and introverts, because they also bring different skills. Not everyone's creative, but maybe someone who's not creative, they may be really good at having good communication, having good conversations with the residents. And so there's like different skills. And so with that, I would say apply. If you're interested in the position, do not hesitate to apply. Do not hesitate to ask your RAs more about it, or stop by the Residence Life just to ask us about it, because we're just not looking for just one particular person or one particular skills.
Yeah, no. Kind of on that same note, there are a lot of perceptions about what makes someone qualified for the position. In your opinion, what do you feel like makes or are good, important traits for a potential RA?
Honestly, I would say time management, but also if you don't have good time management skills, becoming an RA will teach you how to become good time management skills. So I don't know if I can say there's one particular quality that you should have, because a lot of it is that we'll end up teaching you or training you during RA training during the first 2 weeks of August. And so, yeah, it's so hard, because I'm like, flexibility is a nice skill to have, but you don't also have to come in with it too. So it's just, you can have any skills and we'll work with you, or if you don't have it, then we'll be able to kind of help train you to gain that skill or acquire it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Finally, the monetary benefits are obviously a huge appeal to prospective RAs, free room and board, $1,000 stipend, and other different benefits. What is something outside of those benefits, and you talked a little bit just about this, what are something outside of those benefits that people can gain from working in Res Life?
So I definitely think it's transferable skills. One of the reason why I say that is, like, let's say your goal is to become a wedding planner after you graduate. So you want to own a business, you want to be a wedding planner. Well, then learning how to do programs can help you with those skills too, because you're not only putting it on, you're gearing your programs towards your audience, you're trying to see what they will be interested in doing, what programs you should do. You have a budget that you have to work with. So if you want to spend money, if you do not want to spend money, you know about resources on campus, because we bring different departments on to train in, so that way RAs can learn more about what's available to students on campus. And so you have all these different resources of how to put on a program, how to make sure that, okay, you put it on, the students came, what did you learn from that program, or what can you do better next time? And so with all of that skills, when you become a wedding planner, it's like you already learned it because you did it while you're being an RA. And so the position obviously it's hard because you're like, you're not thinking like, oh, this can help me become a wedding planner, but there's skills in the position that can help you in your future career.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining us here, Daneel.
Thank you for having me.
Those looking to apply can do so by finding the link to apply in the Waggle. There are also flyers posted around campus with QR codes to the application website. Applications close January 29th at 4 p.m. With What's the Buzz, I'm Cole Negen.
Coming up next in sports, another memorable trip to nationals for women's soccer.
Plus, a look at the season ahead for men's lacrosse.
Join SAU Weekly's Ryan Schistel as he takes you inside SAU athletics. Stay tuned.
Capture a piece of the past with Trash Can Annie, where vintage meets vibrant in every stitch. Browse our carefully curated collection of clothing and accessories ranging from the late 1800s to current styles. Dress to impress with Laura's unique style and wardrobe consultations. Find a style and make it yours with Trash Can Annie, your destination for timeless fashion.
Whether you're a competitive runner, looking to stay fit, or just looking for comfort and support, Running Wild has you covered. Locally owned for more than 3 decades, Running Wild is the Quad City's trusted source for athletic wear and accessories. No matter your experience level, we'll help you find the right fit with all the top brands for running and walking and the latest in running apparel. Open 7 days a week, just up Brady Street. Don't walk, run to Running Wild, your run specialty store.
The SAU women's soccer team has had a tremendous season, winning both the regular season and conference tournament championships. SAU Weekly's Chloe Melton talked to their seniors about their successes and reflect on a great career.
The team sat in silence, tense for what was to come. The Bees waited to hear their name called on the NAIA selection show, eager to find out who their opponent would be in the national tournament. The Bees are making history, returning to the national tournament for the 2nd year in a row.
To even be given this opportunity is great. After having so much success these past couple of years, just to be able to end on a high note and things like that, and just to show the underclassmen what having a good program is and things like that is super exciting.
For this group of seniors, it is their experience that gives them confidence moving forward.
We're really excited and really confident after all the games that we have won and we're on a winning streak, so I'm hoping that we get the dub, and I'm pretty confident in how we can do it.
Confident for a reason, the Bees are riding an 11-game winning streak, playing their best soccer of the season.
Very excited for them. Obviously, we're coming off of being at this point last season, and we returned such a talented group, and So it's not a huge surprise to me, to be honest. I knew that we had a lot of talent in the group, but to get back to this point and give them the opportunity to go and compete for a national title is very exciting.
As their season winds down, win or lose, these 3 seniors could not have asked for a better outcome.
This means everything. I mean, all of my best friends are on this team for the past 4 years, and we've just put so much into the past 4 years. I'm just really excited to see where we can go with this.
With SAU Weekly, I'm Chloe Melton.
Thanks, Chloe. The Fighting Bees opened the NAIA National Championship with a first-round win over Oakland City on Thursday. It was a great all-around effort from SAU. Goals by Isabella Crawford and Kendall Went, both assisted by Caitlin Brunson, made the score 2-0 in the first period. 3 more goals from Jenna Horst, Charlize Martel, and Addie Kirchhoff ended with a 5-0 shutout win for Ambrose. That's 12 wins in a row for the Bees. They will now take on 8th-ranked Spring Arbor on Saturday at noon. This past Saturday, the men's basketball team looked to push their winning streak to 5-0 as they start conference play. The Fighting Bees were going up against conference rival Olivet Nazarene. Close game early on. Halfway into the first, it's Colin Wainscott on the fast break, laying it up with the right hand as the Bees go down by 1. A minute later, Ignacio DeCunda hands it off to Wainscott, who makes the 3-pointer as the Bees tie it up at 13. Later on in the half, DeCunda passes the ball outside to Aiden Salati, who makes the 3-pointer, and the Bees go up by 1. Nearing the end of the first, the Bees go on a run. Guillermo Narbona backs down his defender, then finds DeCunda, cutting to the basket for the layup. The Bees would go on to win 70-60 and win their first conference game of the year. Unfortunately, the Bees' winning streak would end on the road a few days later. Guillermo Narbona led the way with 19 points, but St. Francis held on to win, 66-57. Ambrose will now travel to Division I SIU Edwardsville for an exhibition game tomorrow. After a heartbreaking end of the season last year in the conference championship, the men's lacrosse team is now motivated to get back on top of the conference. SAU Weekly's Jacob Moisa takes us to a preseason workout to hear from the Bees.
The St. Ambrose men's lacrosse team has made it to the NAIA National Tournament 2 out of the last 3 years. But even with a lot of new faces, the goal remains the same.
So this year, I think it's going to be very successful. We're going to have a lot of guys coming in, which is very helpful. We're a very young team this year, but I feel like that helps us out in the long run.
With the departure of 4 all-conference players, the Bees will have some big holes to fill, but they are excited about what they have seen so far.
A lot of freshmen, a lot of transfers come in, which is very nice. We're having a mid-season transfer. Hopefully 1 or 2 of those come in this season for us. Build up the depth that we have on the offense side of the ball.
The freshmen show up to everything early. They do hard work. They go to the field all the time. They also bring a lot of depth to the team, which is good.
Before the season even starts, the Bees are building a foundation to a winning team.
With building off each other this year, it's been a lot of guys hanging out with each other, doing a lot of cookouts and everything like that.
We all understand that there's a culture that needs to be built, and in order to win games and be a successful team.
With a young team, the future looks bright for the Bees. With a mix of experience and young talent, the Fighting Bees hope it's another recipe for success. With SAU Weekly, I'm Jacob Moisa.
You can find the schedule for the upcoming men's lacrosse season at saubees.com. They'll travel to Concordia University for their first match on February 8th. That'll do it for Inside SAU Athletics. I'm Ryan Schistel.
And that's all we have for you on this edition of SAU Weekly. We'll be back next week with the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University.
Remember to check out the SAU TV Facebook and Instagram pages for our newscasts, top stories, and more. You can also find them on The Hive at sauthebuzz.com. Thanks for watching.